Was followed by that off drive. Absolute gem of a stroke. Natural batsman, natural cricket thinker, highly thought of, particularly by Joe Root, who's spent a lot of time, knows him well from Yorkshire, and darn good young player.
Yeah, I think the thing that impressed me about him, and I saw him play his debut test match at the Oval, which he didn't get many. Played nasty in Pakistan. I've just seen highlights of that. But I think it's his ability to pick up length. I think quality players have that understanding about being able to play off the back foot, knowing that it's just dragged in shorter than it should be. And his example of that was Takeshita Maharaj today. Two wonderful pull shots, two deliveries which weren't those bad deliveries from Maharaj, but he was onto them quickly and slapped them away over deep mid-wicket. So his future looks bright, and whether he gets himself a spot in the starting lineup of the main strongest team that England put out, we'll have to wait and see. But I think the fact that it's tournament is happening in India, and the way he plays spin, I would definitely see him being a squad member, if nothing else.
It's worth keeping an eye on how Quinton de Kock goes here. He's 3 of 9 deliveries. Wouldn't usually be an issue, but he is definitely struggling with that thumb. Not quite the control of the blade as you would like to have.
It's also just having a little look there at 45. The guy at square leg is very square. Is he thinking, playing that little shot where shimmy across? His hand is too sore to grip the bat. He might be thinking, well, that's a boundary option. Being a little bit of a scoop over the short 45.
I think it's very important to remember about batting in partnerships. They've put on 34. That's fine. I don't think that he needs to be uptight. I don't think he's holding tempo back. I think Babu was playing the way he feels he wants to play, and if they'd only scored 18 or something, I'd say that he needed to get a wriggle on. But look at that, he's seeing it really big. Look, say these are terrific shots.
Yeah, if I had to be working with Temba Bavuma, this is what I'd be getting him to go after. The ability to stand as still as he possibly can and pick up length. As I mentioned, the nature of his physique and how tall he is that he can latch onto these kind of deliveries so quickly, quicker than other people be able to do. It's an off cutter, it's just 118 deliveries, 118 kilometers per hour. But he's onto it in a flash, smashes it in front. Quality shot.
Six gone and 39 on the board. The problem is whether de Kock simply can't get power into his shots, whether the hands are unable to work together, whether effectively his right hand, which of course in the left-hander's case is the top hand, is a write-off, and therefore he'll shut the face by being, you know, obviously strong with the bottom hand and weak with the top hand, not be able to get his nice flow through the line of the ball. Having been cleared to bat is one thing, being able to play your usual game is quite another. So then you have to adapt and rethink, work the spaces a bit more, less big shots, more rotation of the strike. Oh, get back. Moeen Ali was right on that, very alert to it, on his toes, in quickly, and de Kock sent Bavuma back equally quickly.
Yeah, just coming back to de Kock and his options at the moment, it just seems like that shot where he went for the walked inside scoop, trying to get it fine. Is the only real indication of him trying to attempt a boundary so far, and that would have less impact in the hand when you're just trying to help the ball along as opposed to hitting back towards the bowler or over the bowler's head, back past the bowler. But I agree with you, Mark. It's been a fantastic start. Partnership onto 39, and Temba Bavuma, he's flowing.
Extraordinary the way the modern player thinks. Batting as beautifully as he is, hitting full balls through the line, short balls powerfully square of the wicket. He then tries something hugely unorthodox and risky.
Yeah, that's the issue. I mean, the risk element to that is massive. He's Q-ended it, but if he misses it, that's out. It's LBW or clean bowled. And as you say, I mean, what has he got himself? 36 of 29. I don't know if there's any reason for that.
Did you see that little grimace there? Quite interesting. You were facing this way actually on the monitor behind you. Just a little grimace as if to say, no, that wasn't the right choice of shot. What a shot. That is the right choice of shot. So Quinton's okay if his bottom hand is in command.
It's huge. That shot there sends a message, because even England might have been thinking, you know what, that hand of his is not good, and maybe he won't be able to play in a flamboyant way. But to get into that position and just smoke it over deep square leg for 6. First boundary, obviously, for Quinton. Well, that is quality. And that shows there was no wince, there was no nothing. No top hand coming off the bat. I think he's okay.
So pitch it up to them is the message.
In swinging Yorkers. Hit him at the bottom of the bat.
That works everywhere, anytime, any place, anywhere. It's another beauty. Again, square of the wicket. Just a touch of width. Wokes is travelling here. He's gone for 30 and another ball left in this 4th over. And 50 comes for South Africa already. And interestingly, the rate has come down. The original rate began at 6.86 per over. They've got it under that already.
Yeah, Quinton de Kock now coming to the party, and that's a fantastic square drive. Six followed up with the 4, brings up the 50. South Africa off to another good start.
This won't be stopped either. Consecutive boundaries off 3 balls. 54 on the board after 7.
That runs.
Here's a look at the comparisons. Of course, England were fighting hard at this stage after 7 overs. And the ball was doing quite a bit off the surface, but through the air as well. Bit of extra bounce, a little bit of seam. It was tough work. Different surface now. Pitch has been baking under this hot sun, and this start from South Africa is very positive.
Very positive indeed. Hazy, if you're a South African cricket fan, you'll be thinking, yes, please, this is the way to bat. Every opportunity that they've got, they've taken.
But in all honesty, I'm sure.
Pressure on the bowlers, a lot of pressure on the bowlers. Wokes and Topley. Topley's been a bit too full. He hasn't used his bounce from his height.
So much drugs in me.
Yeah, he's just struggling a little bit for some rhythm at the moment, Topley. Quick little conversation, KP, about cricketers and the sportsmen they admire. I know Djokovic is certainly someone that you enjoyed watching today and got to know and admire him. Reece Topley has got the biggest tattoo on his left calf, I think it is, of Kobe Bryant you could ever possibly have.
He's full up there, isn't he? A lot of ink. I love a lot of ink. Some work to do on the right arm. Catch up on the left arm. More often than not, you find there's meaning, there's stories and all those pretty pictures.
It's an outside edge. It's no damage for Topley's figures at all. Yeah, he has always admired Kobe Bryant, and of course it's distraught when he, as we all were, I think everyone loves sport when Kobe went down on that chopper. He was not in the States at the time. He was, I think he might have been in Australia, so I'm not sure. Anyway, he flew straight to Los Angeles and went to Staples Center, the big shrine at Staples Center, and paid his tributes to Kobe Bryant. Inside edge onto the pad.
It is amazing what sportsmen do to people, and actually what sport does to everybody. It's one of the greatest entertaining features out there. Gets everybody involved. Football, basketball, rugby, cricket, golf, tennis, you name it. There's something there for everyone, and I think that's why it's got the entertainment value that it does have, Hazy.
Best reality TV ever. Trying to get underneath that, but straight to the mount of fine leg.
This might be entertaining. If Quinton de Kock hangs around here for the next 30 to 45 minutes, this may be very, very entertaining. And if you're thinking about leaving your armchair in the lounge, it's pretty warm out there if you're based here in South Africa, but I wouldn't be going anywhere. He's one of the best entertainers going, is Quinton de Kock, and what do they say? Beware of the wounded animal, and he is wounded. He'll have a lot of medication there to try and null the pain, which means it's now going to become a swing-a-thon. 57 without loss.
And he's got a partner too who is moving pretty nice as well, Temba Bavuma. He's playing well. The stand of 61 in the first game was good. They both would have been very disappointed they didn't kick on individually as well as the partnership. Just had to watch Jason Roy and Milan when they went on to get that big stand of 152. The conditions are terrific right now for South Africa. It is a big total they're tracking down. 343 to win it is. It'll be a record by some distance. Had England got up in the last game, that would also have been a record. It's the highest successful chasers at Mungawang Oval. South Africa's 274 for 4 against South Africa in 2020.
That's a big number there, 1996. 265 chased, Hazy. England versus South Africa, 1996. Wow. I think they got that many runs in 50 over cricket in 1996.
Get him again, Mo.
Better well, Mo and Ali. He's comfortably up. Very handy one-day international bowler. The conditions are right for him, and I think they're right now, slowing down the pace. Here's a look at a partnership breaker in the first ODI in Bloemfontein, where Temba was dragged it across and was caught well at mid-on by Curran. Verma, I think, would have been kicking himself for some time. He didn't go straighter with that shot because he was playing beautifully.
Chase!
Got that through.
Yeah, he just needed to hold his shape a little bit better. Bloemfontein on Friday night, I think that the shot was on. Mid-off and mid-on was up, and the shot was on. It was just the connection. It was the execution of the stroke. He tried to hit it too hard, sort of leaned back. But mid-off and mid-on are up here again. Don't be shy, Temba. Give it a whack.
Tony! Malatu mid-on.
It's a nice little break of 21 runs at the same stage now, and 2 wickets better off South Africa. Opportunity to capitalise here with the start that they've got, and I think the batting conditions they've got, more importantly. Can have guys sitting in the change room watching the ball do a little bit and get a little bit concerned about their starts. Should a wicket fall, the guys coming in next are going to be quite confident to get out in the middle. And that batting order today for South Africa is longer also. Finish finished at Parnell basically at 7 in the last game. Janssen is in there as well as Parnell, Maharaj, just Norkia and Ngidi. 10-11 today. As Rusty got 100 in the last game.
Oh! Excellent, Jace.
It's tidy stuff. Good work from Moen Ali. 4 from it. 61 for none.
Since Rusty Van der Dussen the other evening. He's got 100. He got 100 of 117 deliveries, and the nature of what we're starting to see here this afternoon. He'll get the opportunity to back. There's no doubt he will. Don't forget the skates on. He's not out there yet because De Kock and Baboom have been fantastic. 61 from 9 overs. Last over of the power play.
I want to see the South Africans when they get starts today. I mean, we saw it from England, certainly at the first half of the innings, I suppose, when the guys that got starts really made it count. South Africans didn't. There were too many 30s, too many partnerships that promised that didn't go big. And I'm sure the South Africans would have had a quite little chat about that. Mind you, they've been around so long these days, they probably would have chat too much about it and just realise that the responsibility is theirs to, once they get in, to make sure they stay in. Don't let the next guy do it. It's fine, but so is third man.
Come up, come up!
Bavuma has got twice as many runs as Quinton de Kock at the moment. That's unusual.
Both striking at just over 100. I heard Mark Nicholas, I think, talking a little bit earlier about batting in partnerships, bowling in partnerships, and I think the batters just need to have a look up and see that the score is 63 without loss. 9.3 overs. It's a very, very good start. They'll have to continue, of course. But it is always better for the batter that's in than the batter coming in. Wickets slow down that run rate. That's what they can't afford to do, South Africa.
What a day in Bloemfontein. Very full here, Wongai Oval. Good work from Topley. Just 2 runs from this over and 1 ball remaining now.
Yeah. Sun started this morning and it was beaming directly into that grandstand, and only the top 3 rows were jam-packed. And now that the sun's gone a little bit higher, the grandstand is a lot fuller. Beautiful seats up there, watching all over the field.
Let's pick that up. Just the single only. Fielding into the over 3 from it. 10 gone, 64 for none. That's the power play done. Let's have a look at the work done by these 2 opening batsmen for South Africa. Lovely batting conditions now, just punching down the ground. Timber Bavuma's not someone who's too excessive with his movements. He stays pretty still. Therefore his head stays nice and still as well. He's made a couple of strong, powerful shots on the leg side. Quinton de Kock has let loose with a couple also. He's so dangerous, Quinton de Kock.
In front!
There's a look at where they've been operating. The length of the South Africans early today was a high percentage in that length area. Somewhere around about the 7 metre mark, most of those deliveries, particularly ones earlier, as exercise for Murray Erasmus.
Oh, ball, Mo.
I wonder what the play is now for these two batters. Wonder where they see their boundary option being. Quinton de Kock over extra cover. Temba Bavuma, he's got mid-off up now again, so there is the opportunity still to go down the ground. There's a huge gap. Two boundary riders on the offside, or there's only one on wide point.
Nice, Mo.
And
Come on, Mo.
when
Come
he
on,
times
Moe.
those balls, he wants to find the gaps. You hit it as sweet as that. Damned hit a fielder.
Sweeper on the offside. There's 4 allowed outside the circle until over number 40. Then another one can go. Most runs that Temba Bavuma scored in a power play for South Africa at the moment. 42. 36 in the 10 overs 2 days ago. I reckon it's not going to be too long before this guy catches him. Looks to me as though he's about to unleash Quinton de Kock.
He's just facing a very, very smart bowler in Mo and Ali. Very smart, very good to the
Mo.
left-handed batter too.
Soft one. Soft one to get us going, Mo.
Joss Butler just talking about a soft wicket. Asking for a soft wicket. Asking Quinton de Kock to just hit it straight to backward point or something.
Scoops it over. Just inside the advertising triangle. That's beautifully played from Quinton de Kock.
Yeah, the runs are flowing here in Bloemfontein. Such is the nature of Quinton de Kock. If he fails at something, he'll just keep on trying until he nails it. And if you looked at that, you would have thought that's a left-hander. Hit it so well. Hit it up. Hit it over. Again. He's not shy. He's not scared, Hazy. And I think you're right. He's going to catch Temba very quickly.
He's got so good at those shots. The one over the top where he scooped it up, that one a little bit flatter. He rarely misses. I know he missed one first ball, but it was a bit of a rarity. 10 runs off the over. Here's the boundary off the last ball. It's 11 overs gone now, 74 for none.
I don't know why I said he looked like a left-hander. He is a left-hander. Looks like the right-hander. He's just so good at it. It just emphasizes the point that batting that way, it didn't look any different. It felt natural. 74 without loss, South Africa. Oh. A lot of thinking now for Joss Butler and his merry men. South Africa get up here. It's obviously a huge game for South Africa. They're chasing automatic qualification for the World Cup.
Yeah, they went up that one spot after their victory in the last game from 11 to 10. If they win today, they'll go up another spot from 10 to 9. Ollie Stone now. Give us a bit more insight about Ollie Stone, KP, for those who haven't seen him. We've seen quite a bit of him in the SA20 where he's hasn't done a great deal of bowling, but he's been working hard at the variations that he's had. You can let it slip from time to time.
The one thing we do know is about his pace. And when you're delivering the ball as fast as these guys deliver the ball, instinct has to take over. Not the kind of bowler that you can line up. He's certainly not one of those. Saw a pretty fantastic spell from him down in Cape Town only a few weeks ago. And he was outstanding. Pace, aggression. It's very, very hard. Temba Bavuma and Quinton de Kock now, they're thinking, right, mid-off is up, mid-on is up. So my boundary riders and my boundary options should be down the ground. But you then look up and you see Ollie Stone's bowling at 140s. You're thinking, well, over his head is probably not an option I can go to. Here, the shout's 2. They're going to get 2. Good running.
Stoney. Is that going on here, Stoney? Yeah.
Touch and turn from Tamba Bavuma, always wanted to come back for the second, turned blind, but he's so quick on his feet that it didn't cause any issues. A good understanding with Quinton de Kock. In the last game, overs 11-27. It's a crucial period for that one international, where England scored 14 in that period, 14 boundaries, and South Africa only scored 2. They'll be aware of that, South Africa, so it's something that's worth watching to see if they do step it up. They have to actually in that period, because you've got to ensure that this run rate continues like it is. It was at 6.86 before the inning started, and it's pretty much the same now. Just a bit more required, but certainly tracking it superbly, these two.
Oh, this isn't funny. He's had a few blows today, Quinton de Kock. If you've only just joined and you've seen the score at 77 without loss, well, Quinton de Kock spent most of the time at hospital this morning. He was getting an x-ray on his finger, came back, not a break. So this is not going to be funny. Hit in the midriff and hit at pace, 140 kilometers per hour. Could have been worse, Hazy. Still not great.
Ah, he's picked that up. Might be out. Is it out? It is out. That's a very good catch. At one stage, Duncan thought it was going a little bit further back. Had to suddenly go forward and took a fine grab.
Yeah, brilliant catch. The umpires are just going to pop upstairs quickly, just have a look and see if it was clean. Ben Duckett will. Sometimes you've just got to trust the fielders. I'm a big believer in just trusting the fielders, because you're going to get caught out if you do something that's not correct.
Catch.
I think it's out. Soft signal is
The
out.
original,
so
the soft signal is out.
I suppose we'll all
Can you
have a
please
look
give
here.
me your best shot on the catch? Roll it through. Ball in hand, fingers under the ball. I'm satisfied with fingers under the ball. I'm ready to make my decision for the big screen.
Nice work from Bongani Jele. Just the one replay. That's all he wanted. That was enough. Fingers well and truly underneath that. Clean catch taken by Duckett. And that's that. Figures first going down. Ollie Stone into the attack. One down. De Kock goes for 31. South Africa 77 for 1. Nasty wrap the ball before that. Bit of anger maybe involved in that shot as well, but a really good correction from Duckett. Peddling back at one stage to his right as well. Suddenly had to come screaming back in, and was a fine grab. Means Rassie van der Dussen arrives in the middle at number 3.
Let's go.
Centurion from the last game, Rassie van der Dussen, played really nicely.
Left arm over.
So look at his career stats: 400s, 1150s, average of 71. That's some going in 40 games. Curran. The attack from the Lock Logan end.
Yeah, I think there was just a little bit of aggression in that, wasn't there? There's also that split second thinking, please don't hit me again. Please don't hit me again. This is going to be an interesting passage of play here for South Africa. Bavuma, not known for his middle of the innings prowesses when it comes to hitting boundaries and keeping up with the run rate when the fielders are back. Rassie van der Dussen, he likes to start slowly, and he strikes at about 80. So this could be a passage where South Africa need to be very, very clever about rotating the strike and not putting too much pressure on themselves. Not putting too much pressure on Klaassen, on Miller to finish the game at the end. England are under pressure right now, 77 for 1 in the 13th over. They are. They've just got to keep their foot down, South Africa. Don't let them bowl dots. Don't let them build pressure.
Oh, that's a crack out of the middle. What a fine stroke that is.
50 for Bavuma. This is the way that they have to bat. They've got to keep their foot down. When you're chasing 340 odd, you've got to keep your foot down. Short from Curran. It worked for him in the last game. It doesn't work first up here. Bang!
That's his third 50 now in one internationals. He's got a couple of hundreds. Got to make sure that they do not lose the initiative, as KP was saying, and shots like that is certainly going to help South Africa and Temba Bavuma's cause. I suspect it's also going to make sure that Rassie van der Dussen keeps up with things as well. He's in fine nick, Rassie van der Dussen, at the moment, but well done to Temba Bavuma for another 50. 6 fours and 1 6. Strike rate of 106. Slip in place now with Van der Dussen on strike. For that one, they just hold this line.
Boys, 200 boys!
Just 24 years of age, Sam Curran. Harry Brook, just 23 years of age. Youngsters are going to be around for a long time. Hide under the covers. Van der Dussen doesn't get off the mark. 82 for 1. We're going to have a quick look at that South African batting card, and I want you to focus on the guys in the middle and those to come. So we'll go to Miller and Klaassen. Markham needs some runs, by the way. He's due to come in next. He always looks so good and plays so crisply and then seems to get out. But then you've got Johnson and Parnell and Maharaj, so it's definitely strengthened this time around. So batting all the way down to number 9 today. South Africa was 7 in the first one day.
And the way Janssen played in Cape Town a couple of weeks ago, almost your best batter. Crikey. Seen a few T20 innings, and that right there was as good as that delivery, that innings. That's a hell of a ball. Oh, bounce, pace. This is what I'm talking about. When you're facing guys of this pace, really hard to line them up because of that.
Stone's first over went for only 3, and he picked up that wicket of Quinton de Kock as well. So his tail's up. Seems to have got some nice rhythm going, as KP was saying. The pace is there. Was there in that first over as well. He's bowling beautifully.
We just need to monitor that required run rate, Hazy. 7.15 it is now with this partnership. It was just under 7s actually when these two came together. Just got to monitor that, because I can tell you something right now. Sitting waiting to bat, you're monitoring that as well. You're looking up at the screen and you're seeing runs and you're seeing balls. And the last thing you want to see chasing 342 is that gap becoming bigger and bigger, because waiting to bat, you're feeling the pressure. Waiting to bat, you know you don't have that much time. Another dot ball.
And they are buzzing in the field too, England. It's the movement, a lot of movement for no result there from Temba Bavuma, but lots of encouragement coming from the England players. They are sensing an opportunity, England. Good comment actually from the captain, Josh Butler, there. Just saying to Stone, don't throw it away. Now he means that he's done so well building this over. 5 dot balls in this over. Just reminding him, make sure this last one's a good one, so he finishes off strong and presumably doesn't get hit for a boundary. Captain's going to be delighted with that over. That is a maiden. That is outstanding work from Stone. 14 gone, 82 for 1. Just look at the work from Temba Bavuma and his 50. A couple of nice shots on the leg side, nice drive down the ground. That was beautifully picked up for 6. Moving beautifully, Temba. Picture in picture, so there's a couple of terrific shots. That was a superb one off Sam Curran.
Yeah, he's played nasty, Hazy, 51 of 54. And it's been the perfect foil from the South African captain. They've got the innings off to a flyer, going at the run rate required, and laid a nice little foundation. Definitely the conditions for the first 10 overs that England had to bat in were a lot more difficult than what South Africa have had to experience. The sun baking on the pitch, the roller being used, and there wasn't as much movement through the air or off the surface. Last over from Stone, it was quality. It was balls leaping off a length. And how good is that? Wow, that is fantastic. He played brilliantly for his 100, did Rassie van der Dussen. We saw a couple of examples of this exquisite cover drive, and he starts his innings off with his first boundary of the day in similar fashion.
Just a wonderful flow of the bat. Picks up that it's a slower ball and delays the swing of the bat long enough to be able to time it beautifully. And what it does, which is particularly important, is sufficiently get it away from that fielder. Away for 4.
Yeah, Ash, just a question for you. I mean, Temba's is done brilliantly, I think, in that power play in particular. How easy is it to adapt? I'm sure, I don't know if you did for South Africa or provincially opening the batting. You get through that initial power play, how easy is it to adjust your game plan? Because he's not one of those guys who's going to clear the boundary riders. And how does he continue to find boundaries without becoming too risque?
There's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good shot from Temba. Short from Sam Curran again. He picked him off in the previous over, in Curran's previous over, and short of a length again. This time taking pace off the delivery and pulled well in front of square and helps himself to another boundary.
He's got to look for those kind of boundaries. Obviously, those are the bad balls, and you try and put them away. But just the rest of the game plan-wise.
It's a good question, though, I think, Sean. And I agree with you. He's not going to be a 6. He's not going to become a 6-hitter. So, for instance, when long off, long on goes back, cow corner, mid-wicket, You're not expecting him to be hitting it over those guys, but it's about hitting the pockets over mid-wicket when mid-wicket is in over extra cover against the spin.
Oh, that'll help. Bottom edge as he tries to pull once again. And it's gone up to the fence for 4. 13 off the over. 95 for 1.
Yeah, Pom, it's so interesting, this game of cricket that we play. Sam Curran was so good in the last game. I think it was 7 overs for 22 or something along those lines. Come back to the crease the next day, 2 overs for 14. Under immense pressure, and he's using pretty much the similar options, the cutters, and haven't seen the short pitch delivery much from him as yet. But South Africa are going really well, 20 ahead of where England were at this stage, and they've lost 1 less wicket.
Yeah, it's a good start to the partnership. There's the positions after 15 overs. England 75 for 2, SA 95 for 1, so well ahead at this stage, but you expect the surface to slow up and that under potential to slow down, but it's been a good start. 18 of 18 after the fall of the wicket.
They didn't quite get all of that. Looking over mid-off or just wide of him, but not the timing that he required to get it off to the fence. It was good, that first over.
Yeah, I think there's been talk a little bit about the ridge there, and that was a bit of a surprise option from Temba, but a real quality from Stone, just hitting his areas consistently. What I am a little bit surprised with, I like the field that they've gone with here, and they've decided to get the slip in place. But as we saw with those deliveries, it was a length delivery outside the off stump, probably half a foot or so, and that was where it was leaping off. Why keep the short mid-wicket in place? You've got the protection of square leg on the boundary. You've seen how Rassie front of distance flaying the ball through the offside, so I would take David Malan from short mid-wicket there and put him at extra cover, and then continue to bowl that line where you bring in the slip into play, and if they want to go up and over through the offside, be my guest. It just seems that it's the old-fashioned kind of test line that he's bowling, but they've got the one-day field where you're asking the bowler to be too straight.
I feel that sometimes, perhaps from a bowling captain's point of view or from the bowler's point of view, they might feel that the pitch is so good that if you just walked across, that you can pick him off through that mid-wicket area if that guy came across. On a different pitch where he doesn't quite come onto the bat, you might feel if he hits it in front of square, he'll only get a couple. On this type of surface where it's good, the ball's coming on, Ollie Stone has got a bit of pace on the ball. If you just walked across on the line of the ball and worked it to that mid-wicket area, almost, I used to call it the KP shot, you know, as you used to walk into the line of the bowler, lean on it through mid-wicket. If there's nobody there, just that gap just invites you.
I think he also wants to have the option of being straight attacking the stumps sometimes. Even though those are leaping off, some of them seem to just squat down. But it's good work this from Ollie Stone, making an impact, and that scoreboard pressure, even though it's kind of a long way away, it's something that both batters, all the batters who are still waiting to come in, will keep an eye on. So when there's a bowler that turns up and kind of keeps things particularly quiet and presents threat in the way of, well, you might get out, but also you can't get him away at all. And the batters start to think, well, what can we do? Another good one. Just 5 runs. South Africa bring up 100 for 1. want to look at with that worm, things are going brilliantly right now for South Africa. They're happy. But look towards the end of the red worm and see how it just kicks up at the back end. So last 4 overs or so. And the trajectory of the blue worm needs to stay pretty much along there. And there'd still be some work to do at the back end. In a chase that's quite big, and this one is as well. Can't really afford to put a foot wrong. If you do, there's a lot of work in terms of trying to recover the chase. Here's Adil Rashid. Seldom does it go a game without affecting the outcome. Wonderful strike rate, 170 wickets in 121 games.
Oh, get it down.
You're just matching things up with what went on in